Hollywood is a place of fame, success, and carefully crafted public images. But not every tragedy unfolds on a movie screen. Sometimes the darkest stories happen behind closed doors, far away from flashing cameras and red carpets. The following case is entirely fictional, but it reflects how quickly a seemingly perfect life can collapse. On a quiet Sunday afternoon, police are called to an upscale neighborhood in Brentwood, on the west side of Los Angeles. The emergency call comes from inside a large gated mansion hidden behind tall hedges and security cameras. When officers enter the house, they are met with a disturbing scene. The well-known film director Robert Rayner, aged 78, and his wife Michelle, 70, are found dead inside their home. Both suffered fatal stab wounds. It becomes immediately clear that this was not an accident, but a violent crime. Robert Rayner was considered one of the most influential directors of his generation. Over several decades, he shaped Hollywood with successful films that reached millions of viewers. His work was known for its emotional depth, humor, and social themes. Beyond filmmaking, he was active in political and social causes and often used his public platform to advocate for change. From the outside, his life appeared stable and accomplished, but according to investigators, there had been tensions within the family for years. Only hours after the discovery of the bodies, the investigation takes a dramatic turn. The couple's son, Nick Rayner, 32 years old, is taken into custody. Prosecutors later announced that he will be charged with 2 counts of murder. Investigators believe a knife found in the house may have been used as the weapon. Nick is first placed under medical evaluation before being formally presented in court. If convicted, he could face life in prison. The arrest shocks both Hollywood and the general public. Many struggle to understand how such a tragedy could occur within a well-known family. To answer that question, investigators begin examining the son's background. Nick Rayner had a long history of personal struggles. According to people close to the family, he began using drugs at a young age and spent much of his teenage years cycling through rehabilitation programs. He later spoke openly about relapses and periods when he was homeless. Despite repeated attempts by his parents to support him, his life remained unstable. Friends described emotional outbursts, erratic behavior, and frequent conflicts, especially with family members. There were moments, however, when things appeared to improve. Several years earlier, Nick had worked alongside his father on a film project that was loosely inspired by their own relationship. At the time, Robert Rayner publicly spoke about how difficult it was to be the parent of a child struggling with addiction. He described years filled with hope, disappointment, and emotional exhaustion. Investigators also focus on the night before the deaths. The family had attended an exclusive Hollywood event together. Multiple guests later reported witnessing a loud argument between father and son. The atmosphere was described as tense and uncomfortable. Witnesses claimed that Robert and Michelle appeared deeply concerned about Nick's behavior and well-being. What happened after the event remains unclear. As the investigation continues, many questions remain unanswered. Was there a clear motive? Did substance abuse or mental health issues play a role? Was the act planned, or was it the result of a sudden escalation? Prosecutors emphasize that Nick Rayner is presumed innocent until proven guilty in court. Meanwhile, fans and colleagues mourn the fictional director's legacy. Flowers and candles appear at symbolic locations associated with Hollywood. Tributes highlight his career, his influence, and the impact of his work, while expressing shock over the circumstances of his death. Although this case is fictional, it raises very real questions. How well do we truly know the people behind fame and success? How much pain can remain hidden behind a polished public image? And what happens when unresolved family conflicts continue to grow unchecked? What remains is a shattered family, an ongoing investigation, and a story that serves as a reminder. Even in the heart of Hollywood, tragedy can unfold where no one expects it.